light this change, and they could light this change, and they could have light everyone. So this light happened that it was a source of communication, as it brought the deeper light of and sense of everyone in their heart. And this they use to connect each other, and recognize the one is coming is a friend because of the steps that they were walking. And also using this light, it created a light in it, a light of support, a light of togetherness, a light of having one this mutual understanding of everyone in the community and in the neighbors. They could share this light. That light came into their heart and sprout like a blossoming of love. And this brought unity to the communities. And the elders had this opportunity to share their dreams, to share the leadership within the community. And I thought this is an amazing story to share, because when I thought of the year 2021, as we were having or getting healing from the trauma of lockdowns, not moving from one place to another, not even traveling from one place to another. People were locked in a one place. So this was a kind of brought a kind of trauma within the heart of the minds of the people because of this type of life. And getting that healing after the unlocking of this community, of this pandemic and these lockdowns, uh, there was a kind of uh, a healing, a kind of light. And we could feel this from one another because of the openness of the heart and the openness of the people living around. It was really healing. And from that, despite of the difficulties, despite of the trauma that has been caused, still this love and support continued. And why I have shared this story is that during the pandemic, during the time of the longest drought we have ever had in our community, that is the year 2021. It was the longest drought we had until this recently, last month, where we had rains. Now the rains have stopped, but at least it has changed to be very green because of the rains that came. And from all our friends, from all our supporters, from all sisters and brothers who live outside, we felt you. And what that time we needed support, especially when we need food at the center, it was just amazing how we received the support and God bought some food. The time we needed to have infrastructure like classrooms, we had like the government had warned us, if we are not going to have enough classrooms, they are going to deregister us. They are not going to register us as a learning institution. They had also warned us that if we are not going to have the boys dormitory, we are not going to qualify to be a learning institution, all these. But it was amazing because when we shared this dream, there was a kind of light that traveled and touched the hearts of all of us. And this was very clear because of how people, friends, supporters, we became one, and only focused on what was really needed and what was really need to be solved. And we got the support to have the 8 classrooms building that it's a two-story building that is now ready, and already the children are using it now. And also we got the support to have the boys dormitory that is also in place, ready to be used. We got the beds for the boys ready to use. And most touching is when there was no rain and we could not grow our own food. We received support to buy food. And it's something that reminded me of this unity and this love and this light that is in our heart, that brought us together and make us one as part of this project. And now I realize that the project has her own light, has her own way of communicating, because sometimes I stand here and I feel, no, I'm not the person, I'm not the one. But there is this deeper connection, there's this deeper light that comes and shared along. And as we speak now, just yesterday, I received the message from the county coordinator for education, and he said, "Are you Emmanuel Karisabaya?" I said, "Yes, I am. Congratulations, your center has been approved by the government as a learning center. You may come for your certificate for that verification on Monday."
So great, Emmanuel.
I, I was out of work, but that was the reality. And tomorrow is Monday. We are going to have the certificate as a certified learning institution. That will be it's a permanent registration, completely permanent registration. So there will be no need of registering or what, but it will be completely registered by through the Ministry of Education. Um, as a learning institution, as a community center where farmers and youth can learn skills on leadership, can learn skills on organic farming. So we are blessed, and this has come true or has come as a reality because of the support, because of the love you provided. And this light has continued lighting and shining in our hearts as we could feel one another. So that is one part of where we really achieved, and want to say also the children who managed to finish to go to the next level. We received all recommendations from the high school managers and principals that our children from the center are doing very good where they are right now, and that was also really a motivation for the other children whom we have, and also to let those who supported them to pay their school fees for the high school, that the the children who got the support are doing very good as far as school academic and also outside academic. And that one I was expecting, because the children that we have, we train them to use their hands. We train them to take care of one another using the soil. And once these people they share with others, they create a change in the heart of the people, and it is visible, and that has been communicated back to us. We feel we have been doing something, training these youth, training these children right from the young age to grow holistically and taking care of knowing themselves that they can grow, that they can, as they protect and take care of the soil, they grow in a way that they touch one another in love and support. So that is amazing to us as people who we have been with the children. We planted trees before the rains. During the drought, we planted trees, and we used the water from a borehole to make them stable. But right now, we speak, when the rain came, they just like sprout. They grew very fast, and now they like 1 meter already. Others are almost 1.5 meter, and they have started to have branches. So the place has becoming changing. We also tried to make a live fence for the we planted trees as a live fence, and all these, and now because of the rain, this is growing very nice and very good. And we tried to plant some seeds that we had. Unfortunately, they germinated very well, but now the rains has already stopped. So we are thinking on how we can use our water to irrigate in the small farms that we had planted this. So right now, as we speak, if the rains will come back, then we are expecting to have our food maybe at the end of beginning of April. But if the rains may not come again or may stop, then we shall need support for food as from the month of end of February or middle of February, because the support we had from last year was coming until mid of February. So if the rains continue, we shall be need support for food as from February, mid-February, until early April. We may have our own food. If the rains will stop until then we may need more support for food for until when the rains come again. So that is a need it's a continuous need as long as the drought continues. But now we are preparing our land to do the irrigation. Though we are afraid if we start again, then the community, if they need water, then we have to share the water with them. And though we have this uh, big water tank storage, we feel we need to also use the water for small part of irrigation. The the pigs that we have, and the pigs have grown and also have really supported the center during this time, during because we could have as a meal when we have the flour, or the flour we make food, and then sometimes we use the pigs also to provide source of protein. And we have the chicken also, they bring eggs. And what we have realized now that we may want to increase the number of chickens, because so many the we use what is not, the children cannot use, we people come and they want to buy, and at least we sell one egg for 10 shilling, Kenya shilling. So sometimes we have at least see that it can be a source of generating income activity to the center if maybe we increase the number of chicken. So we may, if that, then we can have also, if we don't have we don't grow the food from the farm, then we can get from the sale of eggs if we increase the number of chicken, and can be a source of generating income activity to the center. So as we speak now, we have good trees that are growing up well, covering the center. And what we need to do as far as the infrastructure is concerned, maybe we may need to build the kitchen because we don't have a kitchen to cook where the children can cook and we had planned to do this. It is still like a foundation because in 2019 we had a program with the LASH and healthcare and CM came and we tried to build the kitchen and dining, but it is still just like a foundation now. So when we got support, we shall continue with that. So far, that is what I can share now. The staff and the children are doing well. For the last since November until now, there have been like a flu that has been going round, and this had really disturbed the community and the children. But now they are doing well because all need to be well. So they are now doing well. We had to take some to hospital, but now they are good.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for the report, Emmanuel, but most importantly, beginning the report with the wonderful wisdom of the elders and the beautiful story you told about the energy that holds us all.
Yeah. Thank you, Randy. Mm.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. Wow. I also want to just say welcome, Tishy. Nice to see you here too. Thank you.
Year ago, I was poisoned, so I'm just happy to be here and better.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Emmanuel. I love the progress that you're going through. Even though sometimes it's baby steps, I'm so proud of where you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes, it's remarkable, to be able to adapt to a world with shrinking water resources is a huge task for everyone and
Yeah,
all life on Earth today.
yeah, you are right. You are right. Mm.
It will take our full intelligence and social intellectual capital to rise to this occasion, and that's why you're such a beautiful role model for all of us in the world.
You are too.
Well said, Randy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it does confirming, Emmanuel, before at the end of last year, I think we were talking about the existing well, though, is in need of some repairs. Is that, and you were going to get a
Yeah, we stopped pumping water from the borehole after we we stored water in the new water tank because I needed some service. It's not really such a repair, but needs service because there is a problem of the currency from the solar and also from the generator to make the pump run. So they said maybe they need to bring it out and see what might be the problem. But they say it's not a major problem. It's need service because it has been there almost 4 years, running continuously non-stop sometimes, and for that time it needs also time to rest, but more so it needs to be serviced and then we get back and then it start to work again. So we've had pumped a lot of water in the new water tank, and that has been we have been using that water until now, and we have not been pumping the water pump. So if it's an issue of rest, it has taken a good rest. So we shall do the service, and what I asked it the Davis and Shatlips, those who came and installed and put the water pump in. I asked them to come, and they said they will need about 600 US dollar to do the service. That is taking it out and then taking it back, and see what will be with that. So if there will be nothing, it's only the service, there will not be nothing to change inside, then that will be the cost to take the pump out and see what might be the problem, and then doing the service and getting it back, and then you operate again.
So Emmanuel, you may have shared before, but how deep is the submersible pump, and are you able to monitor the water table depth, fluctuating or not?
The deep of the borehole is 200 meters. So the submersive pump is right down in the 200 meters, I think. And I'm not sure how we monitor the fluctuation, but what we from the beginning was that the borehole had a capacity to fill 10,000 water tank, 10,000 liter water tank in 45 minutes.
Ooh.
And yes, and that remained the same almost until last year when we had this long drought, and the solar panels were not working so well. So we bought a generator, and when we fixed the generator, and it had within 25 minutes we could fill the water tank for 10,000 liters. So we thought there's still water in the borehole, because if we could fill in 45 minutes with solar, but now when we used the generator, we filled with the same tank for 25 minutes, then we had still had some water.
Yeah, that's a high volume draw,
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah. So what they said, the water, they don't have any issue with the water in the borehole. What they think is maybe the submersive pump, maybe it needs the service, and then it will continue pump some water.
Okay, well, I will commit that amount of money for the servicing of the pump.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, thank you, Randy. Wow,
Yes,
oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. So we'll be able to check that off the list.
Thank you.
That's big.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Emmanuel, what's the state of the second storage tank?
Now we need to start. It was already started. We bought all the materials and we started the other second storage. Now we had made the foundation. We need to make the wall grow.
Okay, so it's in process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if anybody doesn't know, the long-term plan is to add a second well as a backup and to be able to cover the community and the crops during the drought times.
Mm.
So that's a major fundraising piece, but I think we're learning that the size of money here is is not, it's amazing what has come in. And I love it, Emmanuel. You said the project has its own light.
Yeah.
That it does.
I would like to know about the additional chicken and the selling of eggs. Do the chicken fit in the chicken house we have, or is it? Do you have to build a new one? How does that work?
Already those chicken house we have is already occupied. So we have been thinking of maybe making not a 5-star like the one we have, because that one is a 5-star for the chicken, but we may have a roof that can accommodate maybe same number of chickens again, and this will be we need to build another one, and we have been thought of making we have the brick making machine, so we have been thinking if we can have the metal and also the cement. We can make our bricks, and then we can make another one that can help we bring more chicken and then grow like that.
That's nice. I have 500 euro from Barbara Engel, your other German Barbara friend, and we can start making bricks if you want.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, that's great. Exciting.
Wow. That's good. That's good. That's good. We can start making some bricks, and then in the near future, maybe before these ones grow old, we may have another bunch of chicken. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How does it work? Because I want to ask you, because when I work here with the children, they also ask me, do you exchange the chicken like some and new ones grow in, or do you exchange them like all at once?
Well, we are learning too, because this is our first time. So what we have been learning is that now we are in the second year of since, because we had the first chicken, we had them on 5th of November 2020, and then now it has gone until today. It is 1 year and 2 months. So they are growing old. So what we thought is maybe now we make another structure like the one we have that accommodate like 500 birds. So we buy the bird, we buy the 1-day old chick, we buy, and then we bring them, and then as this grows, if this grows old, then this will be starting to bring new eggs. So we shall not having short of eggs. So when these are they are also growing old, we clean the old house and bring new ones, and then yeah, like that. Yeah.
Emmanuel, what is needed to move the kitchen and dining room project to the next stage? Maybe you began to talk about that.
I may not have the answer for that right now, because it has been quite some time since 2019 when we stopped the project, and if it could be classrooms or a dorm, then I could have the cost in my fingertips, because we have been building that most recently.
Sure.
But the kitchen and the dining is a different calculation. So maybe I will share this when I bring the expert to get the total, then I will let you know about that.
Okay, wonderful. I think of your
Yeah.
kitchen as a classroom as well of the culinary arts.
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
Good point.
mm,
Hmm.
mm. If I think of the like make it like a classroom, when a classroom may take like 32 or 34 around there to complete the open without you putting any like
Walls.
no, without putting what the stove for cooking, or apart from
Oh,
that,
the
only,
appliances.
yes, without that. So to make the roof and to make it with all these doors, maybe the structure that is already existing, it can take that much, like 34.
And that's 3,400 or what it 34
34,000 US dollar. That makes like
34,000.
yeah, that makes like 3.4 million Kenya shillings, because the dollar goes like today maybe goes like 107 or 108 around there. So
Hmm.
that is the I've taken that one from the most recently classes that we built.
Hmm.
So if we take like a building of three classrooms, then it can go to that,
Hmm.
approximately that. Yeah.
Right. Those everything has gone up, of course, but those costs are almost approximate what it used to cost to build
Yes,
such structures
yes,
here
Yeah.
in the
yes.
US. Yes.
Mm, mm. Sometimes I've been thinking of the the prices of buildings almost all. Even if maybe the dollar comes at a different rate, but if you think of the building materials and making all, it's almost coming something like same, not same or up near, but does not make a much difference, I think. Because if you use like 34 here, it will be 3.4 million. There it will be 34 4,000, of which I think the value comes almost same. Mm.
Hmm.
But I think I will get the exact amount when the architect bring, or the mason can tell me. That was just my rough estimate.
Yeah, that would be great, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
This might be drilling down too much, but I'm very curious because I've been a builder and do some of this. I actually am creating a water system very similar to yours right now, and on some land. And I'm just wondering what percentage of your building costs are labor and what percentage materials, generally speaking, just in general terms.
Like the classrooms.
Yeah, like the classrooms, because you're more familiar with the classrooms.
Yeah, the classroom, it's a bit expensive at at the center because of the soil. It is black clay soil that is when it is very big, it has a lot of cracks. So first you need to buy this metal to like, and then you make this foundation with BRC and corals or this. So the foundation becomes very expensive.
Yes. the
than
concrete.
making the concrete, because of this, to make it even last longer. So when the materials needed, we need the cement and the gravels and the sand. We have to buy sand from local area, sand, and then the metal, and then we have this the builder. So what is expensive here is the gravel that we is coming from a bit far, because it's per trip they take like 58,000 Kenya shillings. So that is the most expensive. And also the other part is the metal that we use in there.
The
There
steel.
is there's different sizes. We have the strong, that is, they call it the 12, and then we have a size of the 10, and then the 8. So mostly we use the 8 and the 12, that the 8 to make the rings that will make, like anyone to make a column, and then uh, use like binding wire to make this. So those are parts of which are a bit expensive, to assemble the materials on the ground. And if you have get the mason, then you agree how much maybe they will need this. Most of the time they take like uh all the cost of all the materials of the house, the total cost materials of the house, they divide by 4, and that is their labor charge.
Ah, okay. Huh. Okay.
Mm,
Interesting. Thank you.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Divide the materials by 4, and that's the labor charge. Have
Yes.
you ever, I don't know if you have a soil that would work, but have you ever explored natural building materials like adobe, um, cob, the actual building blocks made of the native soil, or using the native soil in some way?
We have been we tried that. Even it was our intention to build the kitchen and the dining using the natural building way. We had an expert from Canada. Her name is Elke, but he examined the soil that we have, and he did not approve that it cannot work for the
I see.
natural building,
Yeah,
because it, it caused a lot of cracks. So if we need to do a natural building, we have to transport soil from other area to
yeah,
bring there, and that might be even more, either more or less or same with the
sure.
building of
Understood. Thanks.
Yeah,
mm.
but
What we
Emmanuel, we
what
have sorry.
what we do, we had the rocket stove. We made a rocket stove that we used to, even now is being used to cook. It use a little more or less firewood than if we make it in an open place.
Yeah,
So that what we did from the natural building last time is the rocket stove, and it is working.
very good.
Yes, yes, Barbara.
No, I wanted to add that for some buildings, it's possible to use the bricks that are made with the brick building machine, and
Yeah,
but also because of the soil. But you correct me, Manu, but I say what I remember, and
yeah,
then you
yeah,
say, because of the soil, it needs to be mixed with cement. So there's still some material costs, and of course it's a lot of labor to do that. But there's like a manual brick building machine where you uh, press the bricks, and then they need to dry, and some buildings or some walls can be built with that.
yeah. You are right. With the building machine, brick making machine, what we need to have is we have cement. We have to buy cement, and then we have the topsoil of the at the center. We just, it's not like sand or that, but the topsoil. Then we sieve it, and then we like a ratio of one two wheelbarrows or full of sand of that soil with one bag of cement. We can bring like 55 bricks, and I think we did that. The the chicken house that we have was built by with using these stones. The pig pen also was built using these stones, and I think for these structures they can do very good. Like if we want to build like another chicken house, or a building that will but still we need to make a foundation. Still we need to make a very strong foundation, then we make the walls with this brick.
Are the children involved in any construction activities?
Yes, they what at the round they make their own bricks. They really would use it. They just like playing with the bricks, and what they see, they don't much get deeper to the really building, but they come in and see what is happening, and maybe share with taking, if it is mixing with sand and the cement, they can do that, and uh, get the lessons on how they can do continue with the other steps. But then for the other steps really need the mason
Sure.
to do. Yeah.
Very good.
We had
And,
really
and
fun doing that with the children, the brick building, because you have to push it down, and you need 3 children to get it down. But it's
and
fun.
it was fun for them. It was
That's
fun for them.
great.
They really made them. Yeah.
It could be a form of play. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Mhm. Mhm.
Great questions
Yeah.
to get more details on some of that, Randy. So
Yes.
thank you.
Congratulations on receiving that full accreditation for the education. I think that's a major achievement. And I was wondering if there's any opportunities now that you're fully accredited for additional grants or funding from from wherever, Department of I don't know what you would call it there, Department of Education or anything.
Good question.
We are credited as a half community, as a community based initiative, and also as a community organization, and we also credited as a charitable organization. So even before we could apply for funding, either from NGO, other bigger NGOs, and also from embassies, and from the government. They have not been offering grants for that, but if you have the certificate, they have fully accredited, then you can use the same certificate to apply for more grants from other well wishers or from other organizations. Uh, for now, the government has not yet shown or showed a way that they can give support. They only monitor. That is think what they really do. If they come at the center, they want to know how was this building built? Is it safe for the children? How is it? Okay, maybe you do this, and if you need, you have to do this. So that they are very good in giving instructions, but not as much as giving support. Yeah. But they allow us to source for funding from organization using the certificate they gave us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I can imagine it will help.
And then also with the certificate, then we are like autonomous, because now they will only need, maybe we share our report and share where we get the money. That is a must. The government will monitor where do you get the money, where is the money is coming from, but they are not much. They will be just basing on the report that you write. Maybe by the end of the year, you share the report with them, and the audited financial report, how you spent the money you received, and how and where did you receive, you show in the report and give them.
So there may be some more questions. Well, if somebody has them, we can throw them out, but I have an idea for how we might close this call today. We're running on about an hour.
I just
Barbara.
have one more question concerning education.
Yeah.
In the past, the center was also asked by universities or higher schools, as it was requested as a learning center, and school classes came to the center. Is this possible again, and is there interest to come, or what, is that all low because of COVID now?
Now, because of COVID, it is very low. But at least last year and early this year, we received some local visitors from Nairobi who came solely to learn more about organic farming, and they stayed maybe for 2 days, and then they left. They went back, but we have the high schools, like those within. They always do come. They come when they want to learn about pig keeping, and also poultry keeping and organic farming. So they still have, they do come. At the universities, we shared them that now they came and they sent their people last time, but because of the COVID, they have not been much traveling from, maybe much movement from Nairobi to Malindi, even to these areas. And we are also have been very a bit restrictive, because we don't know what can be happening from the high affected areas, so we don't know who can bring what. So we have been very selective on our whom we need to host at this time. So also on our side, we have been also a bit taking care or taking precautions on how we can host our visitors. But we had volunteer last year. We had volunteer from Italy who stayed for like 4 weeks or 5 weeks, stayed at the center. And we had also some interns from Egypt who came, and we had visitors from Germany who also visited at the center. Some other visitors who were to visit, they were not able to visit because of the second wave, or the second kind of corona that has been existing around this, and other countries have been locking down their borders, so they could not travel to come here. But still now, we look forward to have more visitors maybe this year. And already we have been receiving some requests from women groups from outside our district. They want to visit, and also we have been receiving some requests from schools which are outside from our our district. So we have grown, extended our hands, and also welcoming. We see how much the organic farming and the permaculture activities are attracting some people who want to learn towards that. And I think we are making an impact towards that.
Thank you. What comes to
Yeah.
mind is, okay, if it's like this, then maybe there should be also some teaching offers via internet, so that interested schools know they can also contact you, and as you do it with us friends and donors of the center, that you sometimes take us around and show. It's
Yeah.
maybe also possible to do with the academic world, no?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Mm. Oh, I'm forgetting. I wanted to share. We have 15 computers, but the class that we need to install is not yet ready. We need to make the class so that we can install the computers, so the children can start using the computers. So if we need like I think it's 2,500 to buy all prepare all do the installation of the computers, and also to make the tables and stands for the computers in the class. If we can get that, we can also install the computers already that we bought from last year.
Great. Glad you thought of that, Emmanuel. So my thought was, before we close, I'll offer any other final questions, but I'd love to have you tell the story again that you opened with, Emmanuel, and because I didn't start the recording till late. And I'd love to get all of that on the recording. And it's such a powerful, beautiful story. I'm sure anybody that can stay would love to hear it again. But any other final questions or thoughts or anything else you want to share, Emmanuel, before we move to that? Okay, as you're ready, Emmanuel, why don't you take us down the story lane again?
Yeah. The story comes like this. In the olden days, where there was no electricity in the area, the community people used to use the light from the star, use the light from the moon during night time to use it like to write on the ground like this. So this light was very not only used to see, but during uh, during darkness where the moon is covered, and also clouds are covered, the stars are covered by clouds. They used to have to make light from a tree. This tree was called mulungu, or chenje in our traditional name is chenje. So chenje was like putting light, a piece of dry wood. That's the dry wood, and then you light it with fire, and then it keeps burning for very long time. So they could use this during the dark time, and they could using even in gathering, if they have a community gathering, if they put this light together. So when they do this, they could feel one another, they could see one another. But the most important thing is that they could feel one another. When one walks on the ground, they could hear and they could tell that is someone, that is so and so coming, without even seeing that person. And they say this was due to the connection of the deeper or inner light that they had developed within themselves. And this inner light brought love, brought support, and brought unity within the communities. They could tell if an enemy comes, or a friend is coming, or a people who need help and support. They could tell before even the people arrive, because of this light that was inside them. And this light, I think, was the source of using the light as like from the moon and from the stars. It's not something light that you can really see, but with connecting with this inner light, they could write, and they could do some reading, because they were at that time, that was the highest light that could be found within themselves and within their reach. So why I shared this story was that during the time, or like the longest drought we had, we could feel connected with our friends and supporters of the center. We could feel them. So I could feel the light after sharing we are in this need, or we need to do this at the center. Then we could see the response was just coming in, and this was because of the light that has been shining within us, and sharing this vision, and creating this uh, 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 sustainability within even ourselves, and finding the joy within it. So that's the reason why I wanted to share this story of this all, to let the inner light that is within us, that has been shining within us, has brought us together, and feel one another, and make us that part and family of the same.
Thank you, Emmanuel. It's beautiful.
Mm.
Well, if you're muted, maybe unmute yourselves if you like, and we can say our sort of goodbyes here. But each of you bring light, and
Yeah.
shine it into the world. And that's part of what draws us together here. Tumaini, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's so sweet.
Mm.
Do you have anything you'd like
Margarine.
to say to us, Tumaini?
It's just to say I'm happy to know all of you here in the group, and I'm happy to listen. Yeah. And I have maybe a song we can sing together
Oh,
to praise God.
Please do.
Wonderful.
you have a song for us?
Yeah, a song.
Okay.
I have to sing whatever you want.
Ni wa neema, Mungu Baba ni wa neema kubwa, ni wa neema,
Neema. Mungu Baba ni wa
neema
neema kubwa,
ni wa
ni wa
neema,
neema.
Baba ni wa
Mungu
neema
Baba wa neema,
kubwa.
ni wa.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
All right, we need the words in front of us.
Even without the words, we feel it. And it was so beautiful having you and your daddy join together, even though you're many miles apart. That
And what do the words mean?
It means daddy. It's a grace from God. Yeah, it's a grace from God. Do you hear me?
Yes.
A grace from God.
Yeah.
All right.
Wonderful.
It's the song means it's like a praise and worship in church, and it's saying that as we have gathered here today, it's not because of our power, but it's because of the grace of the Lord that we are here. And it's not because we are so rich or we are so wise or we are so huge people, but it's just a privilege that we have had it together. So it's an opportunity to say the higher spirit or higher God is the one who has graced us together to have this opportunity together. So it says, ni wa neema, Mungu Baba ni wa neema kubwa, meaning that it has the grace of the Lord or the grace of the God is even more bigger and powerful than what we can imagine.
Beautiful. Thank you for that
Yeah,
explanation.
thank you too.
Good.
Good idea to my.
Yes, thank you for that. Such a
Thank you
pleasure.
too.
Such an honor to be with each of you. Thank you. We'll do it
Thank
again.
you.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful day. Great New Year's to all.
and
Have a good. Thank you, Maja. Nice to see you. Happy New Year.
you
Happy
as
New
well.
Year.
New
Thank
Year.
you.
For a
Big
better
hugs.
year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay healthy, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
alles
Thank
Gute.
you.
Tschüss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stay healthy and safe.
Blessings.
Bye.
Blessings.
Blessings
Many
all.
blessings.
I'm
Be
still
well.
daddy Coco.
All
All right. Goodbye.
Thanks
Honey,
to
Mama.
right.
Mama.
Akwenda lala. Akwenda lala.
Ah, no, see, Jerry Cook. Oh.
Mm.